Let's talk about why it is important to know who you are, what kind of personality you are, and how directly it influences your self-esteem and your dancing. So this is the topic for today. I think it's important. Let's talk about it. Hello, my beautiful subscribers. Rasa the dancer is here. Today's topic is very close to my heart because I'm not sure about many things in my life, but I'm pretty sure about one thing, and that is that I know who I am, and most of the time I go with the drum of my heart. Is that the right expression? I feel like I'm pretty confident within myself. I'm happy with who I am. I know what I like, what I don't like, what kind of personality I have. And I'm pretty okay with being myself. I'm quite okay with it. So I feel like I can talk about this topic quite honestly, and I can give you some examples as well, because you're not just born like that. Most of the time, you develop this kind of like a skill set of finding out who you are and then being happy with who you are and then approaching life with what you've discovered. Now, this directly, I truly believe, influences dancing, because I always say to my students, guys, whoever you are as a person in life is who you're going to be in dancing. You don't suddenly become a different person. You become a different character if you're doing a show or something. But when you're going social dancing and you ask somebody to dance, if you're a rude person on the street, you're going to be rude to your partner when you're dancing. Without words, it will come out in the way you lead or in the way you follow. If you're selfish, it will come out. If you're super positive, it will come out. So knowing who you are is actually a good thing, and I think it can serve you as confidence, and it can serve you a lot in the dancing environment to know who you are and how to implicate that in your dancing. So first, let's talk about why it is important to know yourself and to be yourself, your honest self. A few things. First, anybody who really knows themselves and are comfortable being themselves in front of other people, it oozes confidence. So by default, you already look like you're confident, because a lot of us struggle to know who we are really, and we struggle to know what we like, what we don't, what is all the meaning in this world. There's so many unanswered questions. So for somebody who's like really just comfortable with being who they are, whatever version that is, it oozes confidence. We want to get to know that person and think, why do you have everything figured it out? And it's just a simple thing of just being really comfortable within yourself, being able to say no, being able to say yes, argument things, step away from other, whatever that is, it oozes confidence. So that's the first thing why it's important to get to know yourself. And if you know yourself, be yourself. Don't be afraid to show who you are. Another reason, because it's really nice to be in an environment with different kind of people. Nobody wants to be in a room with another person like themselves. Usually that's a disaster as well. So it's super nice to have different personalities in the room, because we also enjoy different things when we dance, right? We like a bit of a mix, gonna have a crazy dance with this one, gonna have a soft one with this one, romantic with this one. It's different things going on all the time. Same thing with personalities. So it doesn't matter whether you are this or that or whatever. What matters is that you are yourself, because you being yourself is already something different than somebody else. And that is always super cool, rather than having another of the same. Does that make sense? So just by being yourself, you're already winning in general. Variety is the key. Now, another very important reason why you should try and be yourself as much as possible is because it's very easy, especially in the dancing world, but in other areas in life as well, get trapped in going with the flow of other people and get lost in process. So if you're not going to be yourself, if you're not going to do the things that you think fit your personality, or hang out with the people that you want to hang out with, or choose to dance the type of dances you want to dance, what happens, you start following trends, you start going where the majority of the people go, and you might actually find out that you're not really enjoying it. And part of it is, it's not your personality. Maybe you should have gone there, but you didn't, because the majority went there and that's what everybody were doing, and you weren't true to yourself, and you did this, you went there, and you haven't had a nice experience. And there's many examples like that, on what clothes you're gonna wear, on what songs you like to dance to, and what kind of people you like to dance with. The sooner you figure that out for yourself, and you're honest and you're being yourself, the better experience you're gonna have yourself. And of course, other people will appreciate you being yourself too. So those are quite a few really key elements of why it's important to discover who you are and then try and be yourself as much as possible. Now, this is a huge difference to me that is important to mention. Being yourself, knowing what you like and what you don't like, it is not the same as being an, okay? I'm not sure I can use this word on YouTube, but a bad person, okay? It's not the same thing. Now, let me elaborate. There's so many people these days that feel like they know who they are and they discovered who they are. And so they're not gonna, be nobody else but themselves. And in the process, they end up alienating everybody around them, because in the end of the day, you're just being an, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a huge difference. And just to make it a bit more clear, for example, I might not like, I don't know, let's say I don't like red wine. So I will not drink red wine. But what some of you are doing, you don't like the red wine, so you're going to tell everybody how much you hate it. You're going to make everybody else feel bad for liking it. And then you potentially would also make a scene and throw the red wine on somebody. You know what I mean? So that's the difference. That's just you being not a nice person. Being polite and actually taking other people in consideration is something the society is supposed to do. If you being yourself is not a nice person, you might as well be on your own, because there's so many people now on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube or whatever, they on social media saying things like, well, if you don't like who you are, I don't need you around me. Good, then go. Go with no return, because it's like that kind of attitude. Well, he clearly, if he doesn't like who I am, blah, 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 you are a really, really not a nice person. I wouldn't like you. So let's not pretend that knowing who you are and being yourself is the same as, being that person. So it's very important to have a conversation within yourself when you're talking self-love to yourself, whether you're actually saying nice, positive things to yourself to encourage to be better and then to be your true self, or are you just alienating everybody and just not developing any good skill set, and you just, I'm being myself in anger and passive aggressive. So that, I felt, is an important message to give you while you're finding yourself and being yourself. Okay, I also want to leave you with this story, a real story from my life. And maybe it will help you to understand what it truly means to be okay with who you are. So I went on a date a while ago, and I was sitting in the car with my mother talking about that date. And I remember saying to her, oh, the guy is really nice, blah, blah, blah. But, he's really different than me. And, he might not, want to be with me because we're slightly different. And I think he might prefer a different kind of girl. And she said, oh, would you be upset if he would, like, for example, choose, another woman that is more beautiful than you or something like that? And I said to her, it is not about that. Because if he would choose somebody who looks like me, but maybe a little bit more beautiful, whatever that means, I don't know what I would feel. But if he would choose somebody who is just different than me, I would never be upset. And I would never think that there's something wrong with me. The person has a different taste. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be, if I want to look different, I would look different. I look like this because clearly this is my choice. I've chosen to look like this. I like it. If you don't like how you look, maybe then, start thinking about what kind of things could help you like how you look, right? So, but the idea is that you would be upset about somebody else liking somebody else. I don't think that's healthy, because so many people like so many different things, and all kinds of people find love. And, even men in prison get the women writing letters to them. So for me to be upset that a guy would choose another girl because she's more pretty, I don't believe that's even possible. I think he would just prefer somebody else, and not because they are better than me or better looking or something. So I feel like ultimately that's what confidence is, and knowing who you are, the mindset that you surround yourself with. I do believe that helps me, not just as this example about the date, but in dancing as well. I feel like the way I dance with other people, I have the same approach. I don't take things personally. I try to look after everybody, and I never think that, something wrong with me. If there's some sort of, misunderstanding, I always reflect. But I think, there's so many different people have so many different ideas, so many different people like so many different things. So I'll move along and find somebody who likes me. I have to say, this video is a little bit fluffy, I guess, but I am a little bit fluffy. I am strictly Lithuanian woman with a lot of fluff. But my point is this, that strength is not from being angry or something. Strength comes from actually knowing yourself and being yourself. And when the wind blows your way, you do not bend, because your roots are quite deep and you're going to be okay. The top part might wiggle a little bit, but the bottom part is going to be steady, And that's the important thing. So be confident. Whatever you discover with yourself, show that. People will appreciate it, and you will look more confident in dancing, and people will enjoy your company much more, and we will appreciate you much more. So don't be afraid, be yourself. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Share your experiences. It's so lovely to read what you say. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do as well. Show me some love. Now, I'm going to leave you with other videos about confidence. Make sure you check them out, and hopefully it can help you. See you soon.